All right, welcome to our first art video for this week. So, what we are going to do this week is, hopefully you've guessed it, and hopefully this week you'll be able to pick up your materials. Your materials include 5 pieces of white paper and 1 piece of colored paper. Now, you're gonna have to find some things around your house to do the rest, and I will show you what you will need. First, you'll need something to poke holes with. So, here's some things that I came up with. You could find a needle, a thumbtack, a hammer and a nail, a drill. This is a hand drill, and you definitely want parent help if you had an electric drill, especially if you're in middle school. But this is kind of handy because it's just a hand drill. You could also use a hole punch. And there are lots of different things that you can use. Today, the thumbtack I recommend because you can punch through a lot of layers. Now, stick with me. I'm going to flip on our camera, turn on the color, and get the movie going. Here we go. Let's make a sketchbook. All right. So to start, I'm going to fold this by lining the corners up super straight. And I'm going to use a knife or scissors to fold that edge down really nice. That's called a crease. Notice how aligned my corners are. That's how yours should be too. Now I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to make a mark about every 1.5 inches. There should be 6 dots, and just get them as evenly spaced as you can. And make sure you keep those pages straight. I'm trying a thumbtack first, but I'm going to try several things because I don't know what you have at your house. You might even have a hole punch or something else. I like the thumbtack because there's a space for your thumb to push really hard. Now I'm using a long needle, and it's kind of tapered. So the nice thing about that is that the hole gets bigger than with just a thumbtack. Now I'm trying a nail, and I do have a nice stack of folders underneath this so that it doesn't go into the desk. So make sure you're not hammering on top of something that is not supposed to be punctured. Now that nail makes the biggest hole other than a hole punch. So I kind of went through all my holes, whether they were with the needle or the thumbtack, with the nail to taper those holes even more. Now if I didn't have a needle, I should be able to fit a thread through there. Now I used ribbon on the first one because I wanted to show you guys lots of things you might have around your house. So I had ribbon, now I've got embroidery floss, and I think I also used some fishing line. Those are just some of the things that you might have around your house to use. So I'm going to use a little bit of each one in my video so that you can get a little glimpse of how all the different things look. So here's the ribbon, and it took me a little while to work it through the holes without a needle, but I know a lot of students don't like using the needles. I find them really easy because then you can just go under, over, under, over. It took me a little while, but then I tied a nice knot and cut those off. You make sure you tie a really good knot. Part of your grade is how sturdy your sketchbook is, and you can demonstrate that to me in your picture by holding it upside down, or you can even make a little video of it. So now I'm going ahead and I'm getting some thread out, and I am just trying to work that through with my fingers. The thread didn't work as well as the ribbon because it's not quite as stiff. So I went ahead and used the needle, and I did an under-over stitch on this one. So I did a couple of rows, and you'll see how they kind of work together as I stitch those. You're gonna see 2 stitches on both sides. And a lot of you might know this stitch already, so it might be a good one for you to use. All right, I went ahead and trimmed that, and I got some fishing line out. And this was probably the hardest one to cut. And I think I was able to get that through just with my fingers pretty easy, but I think I ended up using the needle anyways, just because I think it makes things easier, especially if it has a big eye. So you'll see I've had to solve a lot of problems in this, and you might not notice because I do have this on double speed here. But there we go, making my last double knot. And now you can see I've got a really sturdy, a little bit hodgepodge sketchbook. with a nice binding. All the pages stay together, and I'm just gonna write my name small in the corner. And we'll talk about decorating it on my next video, so don't worry about that for now. So I've got my sturdy sketchbook. It holds together, and I'm ready for my assignments and ready to start decorating at our next meeting. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys at our next Zoom meeting.